Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about a movie, Lady Macbeth. A young girl named Catherine is given in marriage to a man much older than her. Before going to bed, the girl is taken care of by a maid named Anna. Left alone, Catherine waits for her husband, who, entering the room, immediately makes it clear that the girl will stay at home all the time and not go anywhere. After Alexander's demand to remove the shirt, the situation heats up, after which the man turns off the light and goes to bed. In the morning, sitting on the windowsill, the girl looks out the window. So the first day of her new life flies by. A day later, the next morning, Anna comes to Catherine's room to open the shutters on the windows. Catherine is very bored with such a grey and boring life, and from entertainment, the girl has only a window overlooking the nature, as well as the fireplace, looking at which Catherine always falls asleep. From such way of life, the girl quickly gets tired. Without waiting for the end of dinner, Catherine goes to her room, which does not like Boris, Alexander's father, which he expresses to Catherine, demanding her not to fall asleep and wait for her husband in the bedroom. Catherine is followed by Anna, whom Boris orders to see to it that his request is fulfilled. After a while, a drunken Alexander appears in the room, demanding that Catherine take off by the handle, seating herself next to the fireplace. Turning to face the wall as her husband demands, Catherine hears the sound of stretching pants behind her back, whereupon Alexander takes up manual labor. In the morning, Catherine questions Boris about where her spouse has gone. According to the old man, there was an explosion in one of the mines owned by the family where Alexander went. Tomorrow, Boris is also going on business to London, so the girl will have to be alone in the estate for a while. As soon as the old man left the house, Catherine immediately goes outside, breathing fresh air for the first time in a long time. In the morning, she and another maid leave the house, and Catherine, as usual, falls asleep in front of the fireplace, but wakes up from the screams outside. Leaving the house, the girl hears voices in one of the buildings. Going inside, Catherine finds the employees of the firm and a sheet-wrapped pig hanging in the middle of the room. Sebastian, pointing at the pig, says that they are weighing it. Catherine orders the girl to be released, then informs him that since they have wasted Alexander's time and money on this entertainment, this pig will now watch over them. Returning home, Catherine learns the name of the impertinent employee who only recently came to them. In the morning, the girl goes for a walk, meeting Sebastian again. His words about home being in the other direction, Catherine ignores, smiling coquettishly. As night falls, the girl hears a knock on the door. Opening it, Catherine finds Sebastian, who pronounces that he is dying of boredom. The girl tries to close the door, but the guy sneaks into her room, cornering Catherine. Sebastian tries to kiss her, but the girl pushes the guy away, after which she pounces on him with kisses herself, hungry for male flesh. This is the first morning in this house when the girl wakes up happy. From that day on, they meet stealthily all the time, quenching their needs. While picking mushrooms in the early morning, she meets Sebastian walking his dogs. The girl hints that his secret meetings with the mistress may end badly, but in response receives only threats. As night falls, Catherine again comes Sebastian, which in the keyhole sees the maid. In the morning, Anna enters Catherine's room, opening the casement. She reports that Leicester Sr. has returned from a trip to London. At dinner, Boris asks to bring him champagne, which in the absence of men, Catherine drank without revealing her mistress. The maid is humiliated by Leicester Sr., who forces the girl to get on all fours like a beast. Learning of Catherine's infidelity, Boris goes to the barn where he beats Sebastian, after which he orders him to be locked up. Upon learning of this, Catherine demands that the old man let the worker out, for which she receives a slap from Leicester. Another of their quarrels ends with the fact that Boris goes to his room and Catherine props the doors with a chair. After that, the girl asks Anna to sit next to her, as she does not like to dine alone, starting to ask the maid about her family. Boris starts knocking on the door, reporting that he is not feeling well, but Catherine orders Anna to sit and not open the door. As soon as the screams and knocks subside, Catherine sends the maid to fetch the doctor, and herself runs to the barn where Sebastian is locked up. The doctor arrives and confirms the death of Leicester Sr. Some time later, Catherine receives a letter from Alexander, who cannot come to the funeral of his father. The girl is sure that Alexander hated his father, and this is the reason. Having buried Leicester the elder, Catherine almost openly begins to meet with Sebastian, and the maids discuss the death of the master, in which she blames herself, since that day Boris ate mushrooms, which the girl collected. Because of this, she lost the power of speech. About this, Catherine tells Sebastian, assuring that the maid, because of her illness, will not be able to tell the master anything. The girl confesses her love to the boy, saying that as long as she lives, she will never part with him and will follow him anywhere, even to the other side of the world. One night, Catherine wakes up from a noise. Looking out the window, she notices Alexander's horse from below. Waking Sebastian, Catherine sends him to the back room, and herself decides to wait for her husband, telling him that she woke up to the sounds of the horse. Looking at Catherine, Alexander notices that she is noticeably rounded, not what it was before his departure. The girl goes for tea, during the drinking of which Alexander confesses that rumors of the girl's infidelities have reached him, for which he threatens to throw Sebastian out. Since Alexander knows everything, Catherine goes to the back room to get the guy, whom she tucks in after taking off his pants. A furious Leicester beats the girl, after which he begins to fight Sebastian. But Catherine, grabbing the lacing, kills her husband, whose breathless body Sebastian buries in the woods to cover his tracks. Returning, Catherine takes her husband's horse into the woods, where she kills the animal. Since then, Sebastian is tormented by insomnia, but Catherine claims that Alexander himself wanted to kill the guy, but they beat him to it. Now they have the right to live a happy life, which after a few days is disturbed by a woman named Agnes. She brings a boy named Teddy to Catherine's house, informing her that he is the son and heir of Leicester Jr., who dated Teddy's mom. This is something Catherine cannot believe, however she has official documents to prove it. Sebastian believes that the woman is lying about Teddy, as it was only his hand that could have gotten Alexander pregnant. With the boy's presence in the house, Sebastian refuses to go out with Catherine. If they are spotted, the boy will have to leave. So while Teddy is here, Catherine will have to forget about seeing him. Watching the boy and the maid playing in the morning, Catherine notices Sebastian coming with a sleigh. The girl runs out into the street, where she is accosted by Teddy, whom Catherine pushes away, causing the boy to run away in tears. Having never reached Sebastian, Catherine returns to her room, where a maid later arrives, informing her that they cannot find Teddy with all the personnel. They go off to look for the boy, who is found by a waterfall by Sebastian. Looking at the boy and the raging river, a sinister plan is brewing in the boy's mind, but his conscience takes over. Sebastian brings Teddy a blanket, as he is very cold, and not wanting to endure humiliation, is going to leave the estate, telling Catherine about the perfect opportunity to get rid of the heir of the Leicesters, which he did not use. But Catherine asks him to wait. Entering the room where Agnes is on duty at Teddy's bedside, Catherine convinces the woman to sleep. She'll keep an eye on the boy in the meantime. When Agnes leaves, Catherine lets Sebastian, with whom they dispose of the little heir, into the room through the window. Sitting down next to Teddy, Catherine waits until dawn before she appears in the room. In the meantime, Sebastian weeps over Alexander Leicester's grave, then rushes to the manor where Catherine tricks the doctor that she fell asleep, and when she wakes up, Teddy was already dead. Pointing to the boy's fresh bruises, the doctor questions Catherine as to whether someone could have broken into the room while the girl slept. At this point, Sebastian avoids, who confesses to the crime, giving away both Catherine and telling the doctor and the detective about the murders of Alexander and Boris Leicester, whom Catherine poisoned with mushrooms. The girl denies it, saying that she always picked the mushrooms, and Sebastian went to the woods with the maid every morning. It is possible that she poisoned Leicester Sr., for the day before the old man had beaten Sebastian severely and locked him in the solarium. And she can refute this if it is not true, except that the servant has lost the power of speech after Boris Leicester's death and cannot confirm or deny anything, and because of that she and Sebastian are sent to penal servitude. After which the rest of the servants leave the estate, leaving the pregnant Catherine alone in the house. This is where the movie ends.